There is the importance of bats on your property, Holly. Many people feel bats are, they don't want them on their property.
Right. Yeah, I was just going to say that they feel that the bats might harm them or harm their children or harm their pets. There's a lot of myths about bats, but if you live in most parts of the United States, I think pretty much everywhere in the United States, it's just a brown fruit bat is what we have here, and it's not bad. It's not a bad bat.
Well, it's just like anything. If you start poking at a bear is probably going to attack you. If you start swatting or agitating the environment in which the bats are living in, whether it's a bat house or the eave of a barn or wherever the case is, you're probably going to have some problems to deal with if you cause problems for them.
Right. Yeah. And most of the time, you're not going to see the bat anyway.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Whenever back home, whenever we would hunt, bow hunting, you would hunt right up to dark. So you would walk under the edge of the field and you would see these things coming out of the woods, and those were bats.
Okay. Well, bats are friendly and they're beneficial because they do.
One bat, two bats. Ha ha. Mr. Count.
Yeah.
What was it, Mr. Count? Was that his name? Count Dracula? No.
Yeah, it was Count Dracula.
I don't know. Somebody will email us, let us know that we got that completely wrong. Because he had bats on Sesame Street. Yeah.
Right. So bats eat bad insects. So they eat mosquitoes mostly, but they also eat bad beetles, things like that are going to attack your plants or attack you. And they can, so regular bat can consume up to 70% of its body weight in one night. And then a pregnant bat can consume up to 100% of its body weight in one night.
Okay. It's Count Von Count is who's the character.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh. The magical world of the internet. They had that that on computers now, the internet. Mm-hmm. And that's what it told me. Now, we know that everything on the internet is fairly accurate.
That's what Abraham Lincoln said.
Is that what he said before he invented pants or something? Is that what? Okay. Back to the topic of bats on your property. So bats can eat a lot of bad insects that can be detrimental, that can be bad for us.
Right, like mosquitoes.
Right.
That's what they're most known for. And that's good. It helps control the mosquito population. And that's definitely one. They also can eat those bad beetles. So if you have something like a potato beetle or what's another beetle that might...
Japanese beetles. Cucumber beetle.
They eat those.
Yeah. With the bats now, there are some ways in which to bring them in on your property. Now, based on if you're in the country or if you're in a municipality, a homeowner association, whatever the case is, there are things called bat houses. And based on the bat house, it's probably about 6 inches thick, and it can be any size width-wise. So you're looking at, the size of a 2x4 or 2x6. And people will mount these on poles in the center of their property. They will attach them to barns or, upper eaves of houses. You don't want it right down on the ground. You want it elevated, and there's proper instructions on how to do such. You can make your own bat house, or you can purchase a bat house online. There's several great locations in which you can do such, but you can bring them in, and they can be hundreds of bats in one of these little houses. And then
Before you commit to this, you want to find out where you might have to put this bat house, because I know that they want it so that there's sun on it during the day, because the bats want that warmth. And then also, it needs to be up high. It has to be easy for them to get into without fear, because they use the sonar. Mm-hmm. So without fear of a predator or maybe running into a tree or something like that.
With the bat houses and all such, you don't necessarily have to have a bat house. You can bring them in other means. Now, bats do help pollinate fruiting plants. Now, a lot of times, we think, what pollinates a tomato plant, tomato plant's a bad example because they're self-pollinating, a squash plant or a watermelon, or, it's gotta be bees. Yes, bees do a tremendous percentage of pollination, and without bees, we lose a tremendous percentage of the produce in which we are consuming on a daily basis. But there are ants, there are wasps, there are bats, there are insects that we don't even know exist on our property that are pollinating flowers night and day.
Butterflies, hummingbirds, all sorts of stuff. And you're right. Yes, we don't know sometimes the extent of what is pollinating. And a lot of bats in the southern portion of the United States and even other parts of North America or Central America, They will pollinate things like guava, avocados, mangoes, and like fruits that grow on the trees, peaches, pears, even apples. So, yeah, they will aid in pollination of that.
Now, based on the quantity of bats you have, and if you have a bat house, some people will take the extra step and create a tray, I guess it would be a trough, lower below the house itself, several feet. So when the droppings are released from the bat, it can be captured in this tray or trough, and it can be utilized as fertilizer.
Yeah, it's bat guano.
Bat guano. Now there are fertilizer industries in which they have products that are bat guano fertilizer. Some of them, you got to read the details and you got to know who it is. Some of them are, they're harvesting it humanely, and other ones are going in these caves with very large equipment and disrupting the whole ecosystem to harvest the bat guano in order to sell it to consumers like you. So it's always good, no matter what industry or product in which you're buying, whether it's fertilizers or tires for your car, to do a little research and see where the chain of command is and how the practices of that particular company works, and if it falls in line with what you think should be the right way to go about doing certain things.
Right. That's definitely, it's up to you sometimes to do your extra research if you want to.
Cheaper is not always better.
Right. So that's a good point. And then bats are cool because they also spread seeds for reforestation. So if you live in an area or know somebody or just know of an area that is low on forestation, they will spread those seeds. It's through their droppings. So they'll eat the plant. And then, so it's like automatically like planting a seed with fertilizer.
Right. And some of these caves, when you go into these tropical areas, or even just in areas here in North America, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of bats go in and out of these caves every night when they, because they're nocturnal. That means they go and do their thing at night and they come back and sleep during the day. So that's, spreading, does a lot of good benefits to the land.
Right. And that's correct. It's beneficial that the bats exist for many reasons. And you want to keep that in mind, that if you see a bat on your property, you see a bat around, whatever, it's not bad.
Now, disclaimer on that: if it's trying to attack you, there's a couple of things you need to be aware of. One, are you near where it's living? Or two, there might be something wrong with that bat, that it's got a problem, disfigure. There's something wrong mentally with that bat, where it's got a disease or sickness that is physically trying to attack you. So either one, you're too close to its residence, or two, it's got something that is going to, needs to be put down.
But the likeliness is very low.
Oh, very small, but it needs to be, announced.
So at that point, you would call animal control, if they still exist. I don't know.
And for you country people out there, you know what to do.
Okay, well, I'm a city folk, so you call animal control.
Well, there was G. Gordon Liddy. He was an old talk show host out of Florida. He was he always said, shoot it, shovel it, and shut up about it. That's what he would say about certain things in life.
Yeah, well, so I believe it.
Yeah.
When I was just on vacation last week, I'm pretty sure we were kind of.
Did you find Bigfoot?
In the woods ish, and I'm pretty sure we heard a shotgun, because it was not fireworks, and maybe somebody was shooting it, shoveling it, and shutting up about it. Yeah. So bats are our friends, and they're beneficial to any garden, any homeowner, and to yourself. For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.